Live with CDP Sports Talk, a weekly sports and entertainment podcast sponsored by Barry Cullen Chevrolet. Live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and LinkedIn. And on audio via Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify, Anchor FM, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Radio Public, and TuneIn. Now, here's your host, Chris Palme.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to season 13, episode 35, overall 695 of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, brought to you by our friends at Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership, located at 905 Woodlawn Road West in the Guelph Automall. Check out their website, barrycullen.com, for the newest selection of new and pre-owned GM vehicles, along with their great selection of all-electric vehicles and Cadillac vehicles as well. You can call the dealership at 519-824-0210. That's 519-824-0210. Tell them Chris Palme sent you, or you can email them at info@barrycullen.com. Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership has been family run and operated here in the city of Guelph since 1969 and has been a proud sponsor of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show for the past 3.5 years. Good morning, everybody, on my second earliest morning show ever here on this Friday, April 17th, 2026. I'm excited to have my guest on today. This is her first appearance on our show. She is from a country that I'd like to visit someday, the Netherlands, and she is an entrepreneur, a writer, a podcaster, talk show host. She's a content creator, and she's generally a good human being, and we're going to bring her on in a minute. Her name is Genevieve Pool, and she's from the Netherlands, and we're going to talk a little bit about her podcast show and a little bit about being an entrepreneur and content creator and a writer as well. So just 1 second, we're going to bring on our guest right now. Good morning, or should I say good afternoon, Genevieve?
Good morning, good afternoon. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. You guys can just call me Jen. Keep it simple for yourselves. Call me Jen.
That's a new little thing on StreamYard. I even have a blue button, too. Here, we'll play it so you can hear it.
Oh, I love it.
That's for my guests that are from cities I don't like. I'm just kidding.
Oh, this is off to a good start.
Absolutely. So good afternoon, as it is good morning here on the East Coast here in Canada. But Genevieve, I want to say thank you so much for coming on my 695th episode today.
You're so welcome. I'm so excited to be here, and I'm so excited that we connected. And just like we were talking about earlier, this technology thing is amazing. We get to meet all these amazing humans and all these amazing opportunities that we can give each other. So I'm also very excited to be broadcasting this on my own podcast platform. So yeah, I want eyes set on you as well, because you're also an amazing human being. And I remember the first time when we had our first talk, we had such an amazing click. Guys, I kid you not, we talked for over an hour.
And you know what it is? It's my former career. I'm going to be honest with you. When I was younger in elementary school, even college, before I even got into security 25 years ago, I was very shy. I hated public speaking, and I've reinvented myself. And I think because of my former career in security, I had to do a lot of public speaking, talking, listening, showing empathy. And I think that former career prepared me for this. So even though I loved broadcasting back in the 90s, I'm dating myself. They didn't have the technology, but I don't think I would have been ready for this now. So my former career, I think, in a way, prepared me for doing this.
I love that. I really love that for you, because you've become such a natural in this. And it's so easy to talk to you and so easy to listen to you as well. It's very entertaining. Plus, you have the voice that fits this kind of thing. So that's already a big plus, because as soon as someone has like a bit of a grouchy voice or a bit like super nasal or something, you're like, let me check out for a little bit. But with you, you're just hooked. And I remember that was one of the first things that I've noticed about you was your voice and how fitting it is. So kudos on that. I love it.
I'll be honest, I still to this day don't like the sound of my voice, but I talked to a lot of broadcasters and they said the same thing too, that it took them a while to get used to their voice. And by the way, you have a beautiful voice as well, and you have one for radio or live streaming.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Well, just like you, I've been in audio for a bit of a while as well. And ever since I was a young kid, I've been singing and speaking and doing speeches and things like that. So I'm also a bit used to how to enunciate things and how to keep my voice a bit friendly. I'm highly trained on this, which is funny because a lot of people actually don't know that.
I didn't know that until now as well.
Yeah. No, it's kind of a little secret. It's my secret weapon. And yeah, I still do sing a lot and I do present myself a lot on stages. So there you go.
I'm going to put you on the spot here. What kind of a singer are you? And how would you describe yourself as a public speaker?
Oh, gracious goodness. Well, in terms of singing, I do tons of styles. I can do a bit of opera, but also a bit of rock and also pop. So I'm very versatile in that area. And this is so off topic. I love it. And yeah, as a public speaker, I love to do things in terms of humanities. So in November, for example, I did a gig for Amnesty International. So we really try to build people up to make sure that they get to know themselves a bit better. And that one was about setting your boundaries, basically. So I really love to make sure that people get to know themselves better and use that knowledge better for themselves and the people around them, of course, because we all want to make this earth a little bit more beautiful when we're leaving it, not to, be too depressing from the get-go, but I want to make sure that people just create something beautiful with and for one another.
One thing I've noticed too, Genevieve, being a public speaker, I do at high schools here. Um, I've learned this. The first thing is you got to have self confidence and eye contact as well, and don't be afraid to make mistakes talking. And I just reinvented myself at the age of 53. And just when I was younger, I was always worried about, oh, what are my friends gonna say or classmates gonna say? I was always worried like that. Now I just go in front of class students and I am very comfortable in front of them and I just be myself. Be yourself, be self-confident, and maintain good eye contact throughout your audience.
Exactly. That's basically it. Just be sure that you're bringing out a solid story and that you're really bringing out from your own essence and from your own being. And since you said you reinvented yourself at the age like at around 50, which is a super respectful age to be reinventing yourself. Not that no one can do it, but reinventing yourself at all ages is just a tremendous change for you as a person, I think. How was that for you?
To be honest, my last job, I was there for almost 24 years, and for the most part, I liked it. But at the end, during the pandemic, it became a work divorce on both sides. That's what I call it, a work divorce. Both sides wanted to part ways, and before I had the work divorce, I was already in the process of starting this up. And how I got into this was through volunteering. I did volunteer work for a basketball team. They needed a camera operator. They actually showed me how to operate the camera. I stepped out of my comfort zone, scared as hell. And after the game, they actually liked my work. They paid me. They referred me to a local TV company, and I did camera work for a couple years. And then during the pandemic shutdown, I'm like, I'm going to start a podcast. And one of the producers kind of smirked, laughed at me. I guess he didn't believe in me. And I've done now over 700 plus shows and 1,500 interviews, and I love doing what I'm doing. And I'll be honest, this is some advice for people that are new to podcasting or getting in the radio industry. Don't worry about the numbers right away. Just worried about having good shows. I couldn't get guests on the first 6 months because I wasn't very good, but I had a friend who was in TV that believed in me, gave me some encouragement, some advice, and then one guest has now become like 1,500. And don't worry about the numbers. Just focus on having good shows. And a lot of my first shows were solo shows, and then guests started coming on. So treat every show like it's an audition, and just focus on having good shows, whether you're solo or you're with guests. Don't worry about the numbers. The numbers eventually over time will come.
Yeah, yeah, I can totally agree with that. And it's scary, right?
Yep. But you have to step out of your comfort zone. And I was ready for a change, to be honest with you. And I might be making a little less money doing this than when I was in my other career, but I'm a lot happier. My mental health is better. I wake up in the morning, I look forward to booking guests or speaking to guests, and having good shows. And I love doing my freelance media work too for a number of sports teams and events too, social events. I'm not just a sports guy. I try to do a little bit of everything.
That's awesome. And so you still do freelance media work as well.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
you're oh my God, that's so cool. So you're being creative on all the sides, basically.
CDP Media Productions is the name of my company. And I'm also thinking about a rebrand because I've had some potential guests. They see the title of my show, Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show. They don't know what CDP is. Those are my initials, by the way. But then they see sports and they're like, yeah, I would like to come on your show, but you just talk sports. And I'm like, no, my show's not just sports. I love sports, but it's a full talk show. So I'm looking to rebrand it to the Chris Palme Talk Show to make it easier for my guests.
I would love that actually. That sounds really cool because then you could be attracting people from all over. Indeed, because that was also one of my questions to you. I remember a couple of months ago when we were DMing, I was like, "But isn't this like all about sports?" And then you explained it to me, and I was like, "Oh." So indeed, that would actually maybe be a smart move in order to, have some less confusion. Even though after scrolling I got the memo that, you were doing lots of stuff.
Yeah. I wear 10 different hats, but I am not very good at creating videos or doing voiceovers. The voiceover work I'm learning how to do, but graphics and designs, I'm going to probably have to hire someone to do that for me. There's some things where I can also learn if I'm not very good at something, not to try to force it. So I'm hoping to have a new opening video with a female voiceover this time.
Oh, that would be so cool.
I'm looking for over.
Ah, that would be so
Yes,
cool. Well, I'm
absolutely.
very
So
excited
stay
about your
tuned.
update.
Well, thank you. Thank you. And I've had the same opening video for the last 4 years. And the gentleman that did my voiceover, Tim St. Clair, is the voice of the Chicago Bulls and Chicago Bears. But I just feel going forward, it's time for a new voiceover. And I would like to get a female voiceover and just to get a new video too, a little new sense. Change it up a little bit.
Exactly. I mean, sometimes you have to
Genevieve, before we
rebrand.
get into questions, yeah. Yeah, and that's part of business, and I'm learning the business side. I'm learning the business side of media as well. And I wanted to ask you this before we get into questions. You're my second guest from the Netherlands. Can you just tell my audience a little bit about the country of the Netherlands? I know it's smaller than Canada, but it's very beautiful, I've been told.
Yeah, no, I love my country. I've lived there most of my life. I've lived in the Netherlands and in France on and off. Like we've switched it up a little bit in the family because I'm bilingual or even trilingual. I speak French as well, next to the fact that I speak Dutch and English. Yeah, it's a flat country. It's tiny, but it's very dense. So there's a lot of us in very few kilometers square. So it's super dense. It's super fun. And also, it's just a very European country. We're all very protected. We have a good social system. We're actually every day with my friends, we tell each other how lucky we are to be living here because it's just the whole system around this country is so relaxed and so it's calm. It's calm. But on the other hand, the Dutchies are an interesting set of people because we're very straightforward also in our opinions. So sometimes I could just be telling someone my opinion. I don't mean it in a rude way. And especially people from abroad, they'll be like, "Oh my God, Jen is so straightforward." what is this? And I'm like, oh, that's so sorry. It's just what I'm used to. So yeah, this tiny country is very mouthy. That's what I can say.
Canada is a little bit bigger than the Netherlands. Canada has 34 million people. I think you guys are around 18 million, but Canada has got more land mass. I believe Russia is the only country in the world that has more land mass than Canada. But one thing about Canada, it's expensive, but it's also very diverse as well. And I believe that Netherlands is very diverse with cultures too.
Yeah. Also, I
What are a
do want to
couple of fun
say
facts about the Netherlands that our audience? Go, go
I'm
ahead.
I'm sorry. I do want to say, like, I don't know if it's on my side, but maybe my internet is a little bit hoppy, even though I did an internet test. So I already want to say sorry to everyone listening and watching, just in case.
Nope. You just said sorry. You're already Canadian because we always say sorry. We are the I'm sorry nation.
I know. I've been in Canada a few times too many, I think. You guys robbed off on me.
Hopefully, you come back again to visit.
Yeah,
What part
yeah.
of Canada did you visit by any chance?
Yeah, the Toronto area and the area around Toronto. So I love St. Catharines. It's so pretty over there. Oh my
Ontario.
goodness. Yes, I've been in, of
That's
course. Yeah.
that's like a 45-minute drive. That's wine country too, by the way. There's over 140 wineries in St. Catharines and Niagara region.
I know, I know. I mean, every time I go there, I do a wine tour. I might be a bit guilty of that.
Did you try our poutine? French fries, gravies, and cheese curds?
No, that's the only thing I haven't tried yet.
Well, hopefully you get back to Ontario at some point too.
I'm trying to come back this year because there are a couple of people that I want to see again because I have a bunch of friends over there, and I mean, I also want to grab dinner with you, so I think I have to come back.
Everybody just I apologize. It's just a Wi-Fi technical issue. Hopefully we'll get it back. It happens. So, can you hear and see me okay now, Genevieve?
Yeah.
Okay. One thing I've noticed, you guys have provinces too, like we do here in Canada.
Yeah, yeah, we do. But your provinces, I think they make more sense because the Netherlands is such a tiny, condensed country that we have
Yeah.
provinces and we do have, province buildings and stuff. But on the other hand, I'm like, it's a tiny country. And for you guys, it makes more sense because it's so spread out. So you kind
Yeah.
of need
Yeah.
tiny governments, I would say.
Hopefully your country doesn't shrink anymore.
No, no, that would be intense. So many people on such a tiny piece of land already. Sometimes it's really intense when you're walking around through the Netherlands because it's so busy everywhere. But little fun fact, we also have amazing parts of nature over here. So there's also amazing forests that you can walk through. We are along the beach,
Yeah.
so the whole of the country has a coast. So that's also beautiful. And I don't know about you, but I'm a very beach person. I love walking around on the beach. During my last breakup, I took the train and I went to the beach and I just walked it off with, the sun in my face and the cold winter wind slapping in my face. It was amazing.
Do you guys have 4 seasons over there like we do over here in Canada?
Yes, yes, we're basically the same in that sense. I think our weathers they match up quite a bit because we're basically on the same geographical height. So you guys are a bit higher, so it's a little bit colder in Canada, and it's a tiny bit warmer in the Netherlands. But yeah, they're identical basically.
I noticed 25% of your country is under below sea level.
Yes. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And actually, this podcast is taking a whole other turn, but it's so interesting. Actually, a lot of Dutch, well, highly educated people, they're now going to Canada to make sure that over there you also have like the infrastructure for dams and water protection and things like that. So that's also very interesting. And we've basically been protecting ourselves against the water over here for over 800 years because we have to. As soon as we
Wow.
don't have a couple of dams, the whole country will just disappear. 80% of our country, so the province that I am living in, it will be gone. So as soon as we don't do that, yeah, 80% of the country is gone, and that's why we're helping out a lot of other countries with their water issues as well. The Dutchies are amazing at water infrastructure, which is hilarious for such a tiny country, but it also makes sense because we have had to do that for hundreds of years already.
And cycling is huge over there too, right?
Yes, yes, it's huge over here. It's one of our favorite ways of transporting ourselves. It's easy, it's fast, it's cheap. Bikes over here are super cheap as well. And actually, when I was going to move to Canada, I don't know if I told you that little fact about me, but
No.
way in the past, the plan was to move to Toronto. And I was always joking about starting a bike shop over there with Dutch type of bikes because I've seen and I've cycled around in Toronto, which was terrifying. You guys are missing a lot of cycling paths. I nearly died like 5 times in one bike ride, and I was like, no, we have to change this.
By the way, when you go to Toronto, you don't want to drive there. It is the worst city in North America for traffic. I always take the train. I take public because it's just driving there and then parking too.
Yeah, no, driving in
And it's
Toronto is
also not easy
intense.
for cyclists.
Yeah,
And it's not easy for cyclists there either.
yeah, but Toronto is a great city. I mean, it's such a beautiful city, and there's so much to see there and so much to eat. Oh my God, I love eating my way around Toronto. I mean, you must have gone out for dinner in Toronto
Yeah.
like many more times than I did. But I love going into the older Korean neighborhood, which is more downtown, and eating all their food is just it's food wise, Toronto is heaven.
Did you go up to CN Tower when you were there?
Yeah, a couple of times. I love towers for some reason. So it's gorgeous. And but I didn't go in the restaurant of the CN Tower. Have you ever gone to the restaurant?
No, I went up to CN Tower once back in 1978 when I was a 6-year-old kid in grade 1, and I was almost left behind. So I haven't
Oh.
been back to the CN Tower. It opened in 1976, so I haven't been there in almost 50 years. It's actually celebrating its 50th year, but I should go back there. It's been a while. It's been 48 years since I've been up to CN Tower. As a child, it was scary at that time.
It is scary. They have like this glass platform that you can stand on. I didn't dare to stand on it, but I have an idea. We're totally going off track here, but I love it. When I'm back in Toronto, it's not a question of if, it's a question of when. We'll have lunch in the CN Tower. Let's do that.
I am afraid of heights, but if I have somebody to go with me, I can do it.
I'm afraid of heights as well, so we can both be scared.
And they have the edge walk too, where you can pay a couple $100 and walk outside around the perimeter of the CN Tower part.
No, no, no. We're not doing
No,
that. We're not doing that, Chris. No, definitely not.
no, no, that's over 1,100 feet, 1,100 feet in the air. So yeah, but yeah, definitely. Hey,
Oh,
you know what? We'll get to some questions, and we're gonna start with you first, since you're the celebrity guest. Can you tell our audience a little bit about yourself and more?
oh, yeah, we haven't gotten to that point. Yeah, no. So, yeah, my name is Jen, obviously, and I've been an entrepreneur in the Netherlands since I'm 17, 18, and I'm 32 now, so I've been around for a while in that area. I enjoy writing a lot, so I write a lot of podcast scripts for myself. I help friends with it. I make sure that people get their words on paper in a comprehensible manner, so that they speak comfortably. So things that I write or co-write with people, they're not highly scripted, but I make sure that people feel comfortable within their own presentation skin, I would say. Next to that, I also write short stories. I'm writing an LGBTQ plus love story right now, which is actually going to become a book. So that's crazy.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. A friend of mine, she's going to do the cover. I'm doing the book. And yeah, that will be like my first whole thing as a writer, actually. And I'm so nervous. I'm taking my sweet, sweet time. I still have a lot of time to deliver the first manuscript. So I'm just taking my time. Yeah, I've been writing ever since I was a little child, and I started copywriting for brands starting the age of 21, 22. So writing has always been a thing that I really liked. And after that, I also got into marketing and into the whole psychology around it. But after a while, I was a bit done with the whole marketing world and making millions for other companies. And I kind of wanted to follow my own path a little bit more. So, because of that, I started my own community for smaller entrepreneurs so that they can connect and click and they can network. And that started off a whole business adventure here in the Netherlands, which was amazing. That's 4 years ago now, because
Awesome.
I was missing all those connections. I felt very lonely while I was working for amazing brands because I was always hopping over from brand to brand to brand, and I was everywhere for at most 3 or 4 months. So you don't really, it's not like with a normal job where you get your colleagues, you know each other's life stories, and you basically become a friend group. I didn't really have that. And I created that through making my own business club here. And now we have regular members and people network. And we do photo walks where I invite a bunch of members over. And we go to one of our gorgeous cities here in the Netherlands and we create content with one another. And it's a very welcoming and very warm group. So I finally have this feeling of having colleagues. And yeah, because I was thinking about moving to Canada with my ex, I also started the With Gen podcast because I was like, you know what? I have to replicate what I'm doing here, but then in English. So last year I started creating a whole outline for the English speaking business. And after a while, well, after nearly 7 years, we broke up. But I thought to myself, well, Jen, you already have like a huge outline for this business. Why not just power through? So that's when I started the podcast. And now people are starting to network, they're starting to get to know each other. But it's a lot more about health, mental health, mindset, things like that. It's a bit less about business because I do feel that there's like some cultural differences there, and that the English speaking countries, they like mental health and mindset more in terms of subjects to talk about, and here it's more business related topics, which is fine. I'm very flexible, I can do that. And yeah, now we're 17 episodes in. We've had a couple of networking events online, and I can't wait for the other stuff that's going to happen to my life. So yeah. Yeah. Huh. And I also, because I'm also going to broadcast.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank
That is
you.
awesome.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It's a lot of hard work, a lot of long days, very long days, but it's very awesome. And that way I get to meet people like you, which is amazing because that's how we connected. I was looking for guests for my podcast. And since I'm also going to broadcast this,
Threads.
exactly. And
Threads. We met.
since I'm also going to podcast this on my podcast, I'm going to broadcast it there. I would like a little introduction from you as well, because the listeners got to know who they're listening to.
I am Chris Palme. I'm the talk show host, producer, content creator of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, the Argo Bounce podcast show I do during the Canadian Football League season with the Toronto Argonauts with a co-host that's half my age. His name is Nick. And then I have a third month called the Small Talk Podcast with Marlene Sharp and myself. That is a once a month entertainment talk show. Marlene is in Los Angeles on the West Coast. She's very active with the autism community there and also in the animation cartoon industry. So I do three shows, this one by myself solo, and then I have two other talk shows that I do with different types of guests and co-hosts. And I got my taste in the broadcasting 6 years ago through volunteering. Volunteering kind of ignited my passion, and camera work led me to doing this show. I love this show. And my former career, I was in security for almost 24 years. I think really prepared me for this, because when you're in security, I worked at a casino. You deal with wealthy people, poor people, middle class. You deal
Yep.
with people that have mental health issues, substance abuse. And I feel that career prepared me for this. And it's never too late to switch careers. You don't have to pick one career and stick with it your whole life. I've had guests on this show older than me, and I shouldn't even say older than me, younger than me and older than me, but also switch careers later in life. I shouldn't say older, later in life. So age is just a number. And I've opened up my mind into media more than I was in security. I had my perceptions about the talking, and now I enjoy working with the younger generation. They're very good with me. I picked their brains about trends and their schooling, and then they picked my brains about my life experiences and skills as well. And also 5 years ago, somebody told me to join TikTok, and I'm like, oh, TikTok, that's for teenage kids. It's ridiculous. It's a waste of time. And they're like, Chris, if you want to get into radio or media, you need to get on the TikTok. And I tried it, and I've been on it for 5 years. There are some negative things about it, but if you just use it for the right tools and the right purposes. I've had guests on from TikTok as well. So I'm also the founder of CDP Media Productions. So I do freelance media work for a number of pro sports teams. I also do butter tart festivals, dessert festivals. I did a Journey for Foreigner. If you know who Journey and Foreigner are, they're legendary 80s rock bands. They had a tribute band here 3 weeks ago, and I ended up covering them and interviewing them as well. So my show, what I'm most proud about, is not just sports, it's very diverse with guests and topics, and anybody who has any background is, if you have a story, a career you'd like to share, this is a very welcoming opening platform.
Awesome, awesome. Well, little CTA to my listeners then, because there's also a couple of ones that do podcast episode swaps. Go contact Chris and let's help each other out, because that's the way that we grow all together. Let's just help each other out. That's also how we found each other, indeed, on Threads. And yeah, the internet, just like you said, it's a magical place if you use it for the right things, right?
And whatever career you're in, you want to grow, you don't want to shrink, other than my waistline.
I love that. I love that. But now I'm also wondering, like, for you, because you're working with so many different types of people and so many different stages of life. Let's call it a stage of life. What did you think about, like, the earlier stage of life people? So the youngsters, when you started working with them, how was that for you? And how did they tell you, well, that's actually not the way that we are?
Just being in the media press box, a lot of the media press box, there's people that are older than myself, and then there's younger people, and they come up to me, hi, I'm whatever name, and they approach me and we talk, and then I tell them my story, and they tell me their story. And I think the combination is they have a passion, no matter what your age difference is. The key is passion. They have a passion for doing media work like I do, whether they're into sports like I am or not. I think finding common things like passion, work ethic, and willing to learn. It doesn't matter what age you are, and I think those are some of the traits. And they also realize too that my story is a little different than theirs, and their story is different from mine. and we can share our experiences and stuff like that too. And no, they've been really great with me, and I've now got an open mind, and it's like this show. I've had people on this show that are as young as 18, and I've had guests on here as late as 80 years old. So I've learned to have an open mind switching careers into media.
Awesome. Oh, that's so cool. And 80, wow. That's a goal for me. But I'm early in, especially in the English podcasting game. So whatever you're doing amazingly, and I'm so proud of you. This is so cool.
I'm still a work in progress. I'm always continuing to try to learn, improve, and get better. And whatever career you're in, Genevieve, never get complacent. The day you start getting complacent is probably the time you should move on to something else. So I'm always looking to try to get better and improve, and also stay humble and stay hungry. Be humble, be hungry, and don't let this change you. No matter how successful you get in a career. These people in media I thought would not give me the time of day. They did. And I thought some of them would have big egos. Wrong. So be yourself, and your guests and your clients, whatever you're doing in business, will appreciate that. Because sometimes you see fake and phony people. And a lot of these guys I've met on media through these interviews or in person, they've been really great and down to earth, and they've treated me like one of theirs. And now I try to pay it forward to other people that are trying to get into radio or podcasting or media as well, from knowledge from them.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's such an important thing to bring with you throughout this whole process. I mean, aren't we all a work in progress, no matter the age, no matter where we are?
Absolutely. Hey, I wanted to ask you this, Genevieve, too. I want to get your perspective. Do you find mental health has shrunk over the years due to the internet and social media sites, and maybe some of the doom and gloom? Do you find it mental health is kind of,
Wait, I lost you there for a second. What was the question again?
do you find that mental health has shrunk around the world due to the internet and social media platforms these days?
Well, in some senses, yes, and in some senses, no. So we're all on social media, and I do think that socials can be very dangerous for our children and for the younger generation. And it also definitely shows that on the mental health numbers. If you have the numbers, it literally makes them unhappy. And there was this subject on the news about it a couple of weeks ago in the Netherlands, and there were basically kids saying, "I wish it didn't exist." So it's literally an issue for them. But on the other hand, social media definitely helps us opening up about it. So that's also why my podcast is a little bit intense sometimes, because I love talking about mental health, health, mindset, things like that, because I tend to press on the wound a little bit. But there's a lot of people coming back to me and saying, "Oh, you're educating us about it," which we love. And without this whole social media thing, I wouldn't have had the chance to do that. So it's really a knife that cuts at both edges, kind of like we say in Dutch. I don't know if we say the same thing in English, but it's a double cutting sword, basically. Um, so it really depends on, yet again, how you're using it. So now in lots of countries and also in Europe, they're trying to get like these authenticators, these age authenticators. And I do think that that is something that we have to start up all over the world to protect our younger generation, because social media, a lot of the times, they're only showing what's right and what's beautiful and what's amazing. And that can really depress someone. I've had friends, and they're all my age, they're all in their 30s, and they're kind of getting depressed because, "Oh, but why does that friend only see beautiful things?" And I'm like, well, you can curate your feed to what you want to see. If you want to see real stuff, I don't mean to toot my own horn, but follow me, because I do tend to show the, I wouldn't say ugly sides of life, but the sides where we all got to learn. I'm very honest about, hey, this is something that I've fallen into. I'm trying to get back up. And if someone is only pushing their beautiful, beautiful life in your face, it's probably time for you to unfollow them, to make sure that you protect your own mental health and that you make sure that you see things that are real. There's also a lot of AI accounts right now, and those AI accounts, they really curate the image of the influencer who's super fit and who has all the money in the world and all that stuff. Try to figure out which accounts that you follow are AI and try to filter them out of your feed. Really curate the feed to something real, to something that you need to see. Maybe not something that you want to see, but something that you need to see, something that reflects real life. As soon as something is too perfect, I would say don't do it for yourself. Don't do it. Have a little bit of self-respect in that sense, in that optic, because you deserve so much better than being depressed because you're seeing everyone flailing around their perfect stuff. Their lives are not perfect. And yeah, that's definitely a hill that I will die on. So make it reflect what you need, and also make sure that after a while your phone locks itself down, and you're not able to scroll around anymore, because the whole doom scrolling generation, which is I think now 28 and down, they have that problem the most. They're kind of the most depressed generation, which is really sad because they're only a little bit younger than me. I see them as my younger brothers and sisters, and it's really hurtful to see that. I think it's really dangerous because that's not how life is. Life is real, life is raw, life is tough, and we're here to learn stuff, and we're here to leave the earth in a better manner than we found it, right? So yeah. And how do you look at it, Chris?
I agree, and I'm guilty too. Grew up obviously in the '70s, and there was no internet, social media. So I grew up in an era where our social media was the telephone or seeing our friends after school, playing sports and stuff like that. Different time, different era. This technology is a good thing too, but I notice here in Canada, you don't see kids playing street hockey anymore on the streets, baseball, football. They're all going to their phones and tablets and stuff like that. I think it's a good tool, but you also need to have a balance, a work-life balance as well. To being in media, I'm constantly on my phone a lot, and sometimes I should take a little bit of a break. And one thing I would learn too is if you're having a bad day or you're not in the right frame of mind, that's probably when you should step back from social media. Because I find if you're not in the right frame of mind and you see, oh, everybody's perfect little videos or pictures and stuff like that, that can get you depressed as well. And I wanted to get your thoughts, Janine. Do you find jealousy, envy, and belittling has increased over the last 10 years?
Maybe not increased, but because we have all this media nowadays, we're able to zoom in on things. So the world hasn't become an uglier place. We're just able to zoom in on it more. I think that's our whole issue, and that's why the world maybe looks like, all these ugly things have increased, but it's like the whole zooming in of the social media thing once again. And definitely as a marketeer and as someone who understands this topic quite well, um, we're able to zoom in on it. So we've always had it in us as human beings, but now we're highly triggered, I think.
Absolutely. And when you watch the news nowadays, a lot of people stay informed of what's happening, but you don't want to get to the point where it's your entire life where you're constantly doing this. And I'm surprised some of these guys who cover the news, they don't have mental health issues because a lot of it is doom and gloom and negative. And after a while, it does get to you, especially in your head.
Yeah, exactly. And in that sense, excuse me. In that sense, I don't know how it is in Toronto if you guys have this as well, but in the US, there's satirical news. Here in the Netherlands, satirical news is also a big one, and that's kind of a fun way to present the news. I tend to watch that, so I'm still up to par with everything, but I'm not super depressed afterwards. And I don't know if around Canada there's also something like that. Otherwise, I'm watching that as well. That really helps for me because I'm still up to par with all the knowledge I want to know, but there's also jokes and things like that because indeed it can be a lot of doom and gloom and we have to protect ourselves from that a little bit.
And that's what I like about my show and other people's shows, because I want people to be entertained half an hour of their time, and even TV. TV used to be an escape for reality, but nowadays there's so much news and reality shows. It's like, you do need to step back for your own mental health. And I want to ask you about mindset too. Being an entrepreneur, you're going to get people who support you, but you're also going to get skeptics, naysayers, and haters. Mindset is so huge. If you don't believe in what you're doing, nobody else will. And you have to be confident, but not arrogant either.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's a big one. Well, just like with anything else, it's really about grit. It's about not showing up intensely, but about showing up with consistency. It's kind of like going to university. You cannot be studying for one exam 8 hours straight because you will just fry your brain. You have to be studying 1 hour a day for 2 weeks. And it's the same with running a business. So, right now, what I'm doing is just showing up with consistency. And in the beginning, it might not look like a lot because I'm only showing up for tiny bits of time, but that will snowball. And I think you've had the same with your show as well. You've been consistent for nearly 4 years now. And that makes sure that you're nearly on your 750th episode. Congratulations, by the way, because that's huge. And, you could have done 200 episodes in the first year and then just let it loose. But then if you don't do anything, it will just disappear. It will melt like ice in front of the sun. So it's really about consistency. And I think that counts for most things in life, right?
And the reason why the successful podcasts or radio shows do well is because consistency. You also want to continue to grow. You don't want to shrink, because if you do a whole bunch of shows and then you stop doing it, your skills will shrink, your passion will shrink. And also too, I love doing what I'm doing. This is not work, it's passion. And when you have a passion for something, it's not work. But also too, I've realized this. You also want to have quality shows over quantity. I've done
Yes.
a few weeks where I've done 6 shows in a week, and I've done 3 in a day. I find 3 in a day, I did it once and it was just too much work for me. I managed to pull it off, 3 shows in a day with 3 different guests, but I like to do my homework, prepare, and I don't want to give a bad show or give a bad effort to any of my guests. So, uh, generally, I only watch per day. The other day I did 2, but just generally 1, and also 6 a week's a little too much. So,
Yeah.
one thing I would tell people: make sure quality over quantity, because sometimes doing 5, 6, 7 shows in a week, you might not be able to give your best effort to your guests or to your audience. So, make sure you know your limit. And I know this week I'm doing 5 shows, but next week I'm probably going to cut it back to 3. But I take pride in my shows, and I don't want to ever have a point where this becomes like work, or I don't give a good effort to my guests and my audience, because I do take a lot of time in reading my guest bio and preparing for them as well, and trying to have the best shows possible without being.
Yeah, no, exactly. So it's about consistency and doing things with excellence and knowing your personal boundaries within it, right? So that's the gist, and that's most of life, that's most of businesses, that's most of work. Do your work well, or do your hobby well, do your passion well, but also know your limits and do it consistently. And that way you will snowball into something gorgeous. Like with the Dutch Business Club, for example, when I started it 4 years ago, I just showed up consistently. And I'm not world famous in the Netherlands, definitely not. But people now are starting to know me throughout the Netherlands and throughout the Dutch entrepreneurial market in Europe as a place to connect. And that's what you want. That's what you need in life. That also gives you a mission, a vision, a purpose. And if you show up with intensity, with, you know, with yeah, just with intensity, then you'll lose it. You'll lose your shine, I think.
Connections and network are huge too. So whether it's virtually or when I do these outings, I make sure I have business cards with me too. I have virtual business cards, but I also have my own business cards that I physically carry on me as well. So I'm constantly always connecting and networking as well.
Yeah, but you're really a super connector. Like I've followed you around on socials now for a couple of months and you're really good at it. You're a natural, which I love. It just makes my fire go on. It's amazing.
Well, thank you so much. And I'm trying to prove to the traditional radio stations. They tell me, "Oh, you're too self-taught, you don't have that piece of paper." Don't get me wrong, education is important, but you never judge someone based on their background. Self-taught is still a form of education, and
Yes.
having a piece of paper is fine, and I'm not disrespecting it, but too many people think because they have a piece of paper that they're entitled to things. You still gotta put in the work, you still gotta put in the effort, and to me, I just love what I'm doing, and I don't wanna be judged that. Judge me based on the body of my work and the body of my guests and my ability to connect with people. Don't judge me, "Oh, he's 53, 53 or 20, it shouldn't matter. If you are passionate and you have a good work ethic and you're willing to take feedback and to learn, that's the main thing. Don't just judge someone based on a piece of paper or they don't have a piece of paper.
Yeah, no, exactly. Well, that's actually funny that you're mentioning it because a couple of weeks ago, I had a vibe check with another podcast guest, and she's coming on in a couple of weeks. And we were also talking about our businesses and how we run it and stuff. And we were asking each other, like, hey, do you have an MBA? And she doesn't, and I do have an MBA. And she asked me, well, Jen, in all honesty, is it actually worth it? And I said, girl, no. I said, I actually learned so much more from being on the field, from actually helping people build their businesses, build their mindsets. And the MBA, it costed me 3 years and it costed me many thousands of dollars, as we all know. It just made me broke. And it actually didn't really help. I mean, of course, I have the literature in my head now. I kind of know the terms, but I would have come to the terms through work eventually. I would have, through Googling and reading and all that stuff. So it doesn't it doesn't mean that I want to tell people, oh, don't go to university anymore, but
Yeah. Yeah.
putting in the
Yeah.
work is as important, if not more important, because you can be in school. And I'm a huge believer in school systems,
Yeah.
but you have to do the groundwork. Yes.
And volunteerships. A lot of my media skills I learned from reaching out to pro sports teams, media opportunities. Obviously, I got told a number of times no, but this past year I got a Super Bowl media pass. I was not on a mainstream TV or radio station. They like the NFL, which is one of the biggest after the World Cup of soccer. They gave me a Super Bowl media pass because they obviously liked my work. And I'm just
Yeah.
trying to prove to people you don't have to be on a mainstream TV or radio station to be successful. And also, education's important, but also getting hands-on experience is valuable. And doing the CFL, the NFL, a lot of these pro sports teams, I've asked questions from media people that are very experienced. I've learned from the younger generation. Getting hands-on skills and also volunteering too is very important as well. So you can't just have the attitude, I got a piece of paper, I'm entitled to this. You still got to put in the work, you still got to put in the effort, you still got to have the passion, and the more you do, the better. It doesn't mean I wear a hat, a big hat, I got a big head. I literally wear 10 different hats. Doesn't mean I'm the best at 10 things, but it's good to be diverse. And
Yeah.
I think, and I tell that to students too. I love doing the on air stuff, but the on air stuff is the easy part of the podcast. It's the booking guests, promoting the show. Sometimes guests cancel, illness, whatever, and also technical glitches. I've had shows where I could see and hear my guests, but they couldn't hear me, and I still had to get the show to go on. So technology, sometimes there's glitches and you got to get through it. You got to work through it and you can't panic. And I've seen that doing camera work for a TV company too, where they're broadcasting something's gone on, but you still got the show still got to go on and you can't panic and you just have to learn on the fly or ad lib.
Yeah, no, that's very true. Yeah. And yeah, I think that after so many hundred episodes, you've kind of you've taught yourself how to keep your calm and cool and collected and all that stuff. Do you maybe have a tip for me? Because, I'm new on the English market. I'm at episode 17 of my podcast. Are there any tips that you could give me as, a starter in this market?
My tip would be, when you do a show, just try to be prepared. Do your homework on your guests, on your audience, and also I always like to set up an hour before my show starts. I like to turn my laptop on. I want to make sure everything's good. I want to check my camera, audio, which I once forgot to turn on during a show. So even being experienced, you can still miss things, or things do come up. I make sure I have a good, strong internet connection. I use an Ethernet cable too. I find an Ethernet cable helps as well. But I also think that's great that you're bilingual, Dutch, English, and French. And I know a little French, but I would like to learn another language too. And that's important too, because you could do podcasts in 3 different languages. And these shows aren't just local. Like, I know you're in the Netherlands, but your show is heard around the world, just like this is now as well. And that's one thing I wanted to learn. I want to learn a little more French, and maybe learn some
Hmm.
other languages too.
And what's another language that you would like to learn?
French, French, and maybe Dutch.
Dutch, but
Yeah.
oh no, not so many speak Dutch. Actually, I don't know if that would be useful.
Now for you, how difficult was it learning French?
Oh gosh, yeah, no, I grew up with it. So my mom, she when she moved to the Netherlands, she only spoke French, so she didn't peep a word Dutch. So that I basically got all three languages in one go, because my mom used to speak French, my dad used to speak Dutch, and they talked in English with each other. So yeah, that's the whole story. It's not super spectacular. It's just a trilingual household. That's it. I cannot make it
One
any longer.
one other advice I would give you too is, I try to make my shows about my guests. I don't want to have an ego and make it about me, because I want people turning in to learn from my guests. So I try to always make sure the focus is on my guests as well, and also try to, sometimes you can't do that, try to let my guests talk. I try not to cut off, try to be a very
Mm,
good listener, and then you wait for you wait for the where there's silence, and then you speak. I just try not to cut off my guests as well. So I'm just constantly learning all the time, and from my experiences, and to have a natural conversation, like you're at a coffee shop or you're at the mall as well. But it's not good if one person dominates the whole conversation. And also too, make sure your guest likes to talk, because I once had a 5-time a female women's boxing champion on, Mia St. John,
mhm.
great person in that. And I assumed, oh, okay, she's an athlete, she's a boxer, she'll be a great talker, and it's fun in the show to get her to open up. And so never assume. And like we did a Zoom call, what, about a month ago. If your guest's not sure about you, do a Zoom call, Google Meets, and that way you can get a sense and feel of your guests. So I'm trying to pay it
Mm.
forward to not yourself, but everyone else as well, from my experiences.
Yeah, exactly. So the vibe check that I'm planning with everyone, basically, you're saying, Jen, that's a good way to go. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Okay, good,
absolutely.
good.
And I'm fine with that too. And you know what, because obviously in some cases you can't meet that person, being different countries, different zones, but it gives them a sense of where you're coming from. Like, you can type everything and have everything nice and neat on the internet, but you get more of a sense from either a phone call or a video call as well, from my experience. And my job as a talk
Yeah.
show host is to make my guests feel comfortable and want to come on this show. And you don't want somebody on your show that doesn't feel comfortable, or they don't like your work. And that's the thing too, I'm realizing. You're not going to be everyone's cup of tea. Focus on the people that support you, like your work. But sometimes there are people that just, they don't like your personality, or they don't like your work. You don't take it personally.
Yeah, I think that's the hardest thing for a lot of people still, right? Like not taking the whole thing personally. Sometimes you just don't vibe with someone.
On air chemistry is huge.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a big thing. It's a big thing. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of had that like a month and a half ago when I was interviewing someone, and maybe we're turning this into an episode like on how to do podcasts, but maybe that's actually a good thing because this is also just human knowledge for when you just want to talk to someone. And it's the vibe check went so. It was like medium. And now I'm starting to like have to run after her to kind of get her booked on my show and me on her show. We were going to do a swap as well, so a double recording and all that stuff. And yeah, I don't know, maybe I should just let it go because I'm kind of taking it personally that she doesn't like me or something, but maybe I should just go, okay, done, next
Don't
one.
take don't take it personally, and also too, yes, I'm straightforward. It's either a yes or no with me. If a guest says no, that's fine. But if they say maybe, not sure, then I leave it. I don't I don't chase or beg guests to come on my show. And sometimes guests aren't sure. They'll come back to me in a month. They're like, "Hey, Chris, we saw your work. We want to come on your show, whatever." But never beg or chase. And one thing I've learned too, I've only canceled 2 shows in 6 years because of illness. And when the host cancels, it's up to the host to reschedule with the guest. But if a guest cancels due to an emergency, illness, whatever, things do happen, then I let the guest come back to me. And that happened to me with a guest last week. They canceled on me 2 weeks ago at the last minute. Things happen, and then 10 days later, they contacted me and they wanted to come back on my show, and we had a great show. So that's how I do things with guests. Is if I cancel, then it's up to me to reschedule, and if they cancel, then it's up to them. And don't beg and chase. And if somebody does want to come on your show, that's what you want. You don't want to drag somebody on your show that doesn't really want to be there, from my experience.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Oh my, I'm learning so much from you. This is amazing. I love it. Yeah. Yeah. I think the begging thing is still like a little bit tricky for me because I will
How
be
would you
double
describe
text.
yourself?
Mhm.
I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say the begging. I should reward it. You shouldn't have to chase guests. That's the better word to say.
Yeah, yeah. Well, still, I'm chasing them, and I should stop that because I know myself, and I really want that person on, and oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah. I should stop that. Just go on to the next person, basically, because I've been so stuck in chasing like a couple of people that I've had to do a lot of solo episodes right now, so I didn't have any guests on my podcast, which, I love to bring other people on because it's good for everyone. It just, yeah, it
Yeah.
kind of, it hurt the numbers
Yeah.
of my show as well.
I've done solo shows myself, and just with my guests, I just want them to come on and feel comfortable. And sometimes my guests want to talk on the phone, so they give me their cell number or text. So I try to accommodate them as well. Like I said, you want them to feel comfortable coming on your show, and booking guests to me is the hardest aspect of it because you got to worry about different time zones. You have to deal with everyone on schedules, and I just want people to like what I'm doing. And I'm learning not to take things personally. There's been a couple of people where I really respected them in media. They just simply, unfortunately, don't like my work or my show. And there's nothing, I
Mm,
can't control that. I can only control what I can control. And I just now, my mindset is to focus on people that want to come on my show and speak, and focus on positive. Don't think of the
yeah,
negatives as well. Mindset is huge. Whatever career you're in, not just radio or media or whatever, any business you're in, you got to focus. And not everybody's going to be behind you too. And don't let success change you either.
yeah, exactly. Well, if we already book each other every 6 months or so, then we have that covered.
Absolutely. And if you're ever looking for a guest to come on your show too, I'd be glad to help out.
Exactly. Let's do that. That we have that covered. No, it's really hard to book guests sometimes. So, you guys, if you're starting out a show, that's indeed the toughest part.
Hey, Genevieve, I know we're already over an hour, but are you okay for another 15 minutes?
I can do another 15 minutes, and
Okay.
after that, I'll have to start dinner and stuff here. So, sure.
I'm on my way over, by the way. I haven't even had
Oh,
breakfast
okay.
yet. I haven't even had
Oh,
breakfast yet.
you're so welcome over here for dinner anytime. If you're ever in a neck of my woods, please come over. I would love to have you.
That's somewhere I would like to come. I haven't even been on an airplane yet. That's a fun fact about me. I'm 53 years old. I've never been on an airplane yet.
Oh, I didn't know that about you.
And I'm left-handed too.
I did not know that. We're learning so much about each other throughout this whole talk. even though
Absolutely.
our even though our vibe check was like an hour and a half.
And when you have great conversations with your guests, they fly by. But also too, another thing I give advice to is always ask what they're good time wise. I've had guests that say, I can talk for 2 hours. I've had guests that can talk 15 minutes. So you don't want to ever keep your guests longer than they can give you because you don't want them to be uncomfortable or kind of grumpy at the end. So I always tell people before the show, ask your guests what they are good with time wise. And sometimes the
Mm.
guests can tell me 15, 20 minutes. And then they're like, hey, you know what? The conversation's going good, Chris. I can give you more time. So I just think out of professional courtesy, always check with your guests ahead of time what they're good with time wise as well.
Oh, that's actually a great tip because normally I just tell them, hey, it's about 45 minutes. And some people, maybe that's also why I'm chasing a couple of people right now because maybe it's too long or too short for them.
Yes. So, and if a guest says they can do me 15 minutes, I make it work. If they can give me half an hour, I make it work. So you have to be flexible
Mm.
and accommodating, not just in what I'm doing, but in any career as well. So if I can help other people, because I've learned a lot on my own, so I pay it forward.
Awesome. Oh my, I'm loving
Hey,
all these tips. I'm eating it up.
Hey, Genevieve, I'd like to play a little clip from your Instagram page. How can our audience find you on social media and your website and your podcast show before we play this clip?
Yeah, if you Google with Genevieve, you can find me basically on any social media. That's also how you'll be forwarded to Apple and Spotify, and through withgenevieve.com. You can also find everything over there. I try to keep it as simple as possible. So just at with Genevieve, and then you got it. And then I'm there. I will be there waiting for you.
Now, are you on TikTok as well?
Yes, on TikTok as well. Yeah.
I will have to look for you on TikTok, by the way.
Yeah, I'm not as active over there. So I'm really bad with the DMs. So a lot of times when I upload a TikTok, I say, please DM me on either Threads or Instagram because those are my preferred means of communication. But once a month or so, I go into my TikTok inbox.
And by the way, social media is a full-time job itself.
Yes. Yes. Oh my God. I've been managing so many accounts for so many brands. It's a nightmare.
So I'm hoping one day I will be able to hire somebody to help me with that. But it's also good as a business owner to learn all
Yeah.
this too.
Mm, exactly, exactly. So it's good to know how it works. Oh, hey, that's me.
Absolutely. And we're gonna play the clip right now. Just let me know if you can hear the audio, okay? Just bear
Sure.
with me 1 second. We're gonna play this from your with Genevieve on Instagram, everybody. Make sure you follow, subscribe, and like. And 1 second, and this is just a little clip from your Instagram page.
Own a business. You know what to do, right? And yet you tidy up, you clean, you tweak, you look at all your launches. And you're not doing that because you're lazy. It's just because that fear is a lot of the times disguised as procrastination. which is not the case. And I'm just here to remind you that you deserve that one step. You deserve that bravery. You deserve a good business. So go take it. Go for it. And I will be cheering on you from the sidelines. All right?
Thoughts on your video on Instagram?
Thoughts on my own video. Yeah, no, I love hyping people up, and I love making sure that they feel welcome, but I also love spreading truth. So the truth about procrastinating, it's something that we all do. And sometimes we all just need to be a bit, someone needs to tell us. I have that with a lot of stuff as well. And that's why I have a lot of business buddies over here, and we work together and we plan time together so that they can tell me, hey, Jen, you're basically BSing right now. Can you stop that? So I'm trying to pay that forward to other people. So telling them, hey, this thing that you're doing right now, not so cool. But if there's something that I can help you with, let's go. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do on socials for people who are in business, mental health, and mindset, because we deserve so much better, every one of us, right?
Surround yourself with positive people. And I'm going to be honest with you. Since I switched careers in media, I've switched my inner circle. My inner circle has shrunk, but I now surround myself with positive people, because people who are negative or jealous or that you have no ambition, they can drag you down too.
Yes. Yes. It's kind of like they say you're the average of the 5 people you hang out with, right?
Yep. Genevieve, I wanted to ask you this. Can you explain what your I can't pronounce it. Vendaux? Vendaux? How do you pronounce it? It's a term that
It's
Vena
it's very French pronounced. It's Vendaux. So
Vendeur. Okay.
yeah. So it kind of sounds a bit like luxurious. Oh my god, you're asking me about this. Yeah, no. Okay, so Vendaux, it's kind of an
Vendeur.
online. It's an online shopping platform where people can go on to. And they can sign up as a seller, as a buyer. Both ways around are fine, and people can just they can put their amazing creations up for sale. So it's really for creative people, for makers, for creators, and for people who love vintage things, for people who want to take care of the earth a little better. And people can also hook up their social media and everything to it. It's kind of yeah, it's a mall online, but for original creators. And it's something that I really missed. I mean, we do have the other bigger competitors. I won't name any names, but there's probably already like 4 or 5 popping up in our heads right now, right?
Yeah.
But they're all very expensive, first of all, to put your stuff up on. And second of all, they do have an algorithm. And I chose, together with one of my best friends, to build Vendaux without an algorithm. So there's no pushing media. There's no buying, selling ads. There's no algorithm within it. It's really, if you are a good creator, which, it's a curated platform, so I have to check all the stuff that comes through, you'll just get on it. And I'm not an artist by any means in that sense. I mean, I'm an audio artist. I'm not a creator in like the artsy sense, but I just wanted a fair space for people that was not too expensive to put their stuff on. And I just want people to be discovered, whether they make paintings or jewelry or clothing, and preferably people who, yet again, which is my whole mission, I think, want to leave the world behind in a little bit, more beautiful way than they found it. So that's basically what that is about. And it's a safe space. So people who sell on Vendaux, they immediately become part of the Vendaux member hub. And they'll get marketing tips from me. They'll get invited to online networking events. There's a Q&A section on Telegram. So we have this community. where they can be like, hey guys, I have this issue. I would like to sell more, or I'm trying to create ABC. Does anyone have any tips for me? So it's really a space where people can grow together and just it's a community. It's just a pure community of creative people who want to sell and who want to create a beautiful world, and preferably in a little bit of a sustainable way. Yeah.
Vendaux. Now, where can they find the website for this too?
Vendaux, you can find it on vendaux.com. And Vendaux is also on Instagram. If people are following me on Instagram, it's in my WithGen bio as well. So a lot of people click forward to Vendaux through my own profile. And yeah, I'm running it with one of my oldest friends I have here. So it's a fun project. It's really fun.
What do you enjoy the most about helping people?
Oh, their smiles and their the connection that you're creating. And whenever someone's like, "Hey, Jen, what can I do back for you?" I'm just like, pay it forward. If someone else asks you for help, pay it forward. That's what I want you to do. It's kind of like a friend 2 months ago. She asked for some gas money because she got scammed, which wasn't super fun for her. So her whole bank account was empty. And it was only like 25 bucks or something. She asked me like, "Hey, really want to get home and I just got scammed. I pushed a wrong button." And I was like, "All right, I know you, and I'll just transfer 25 bucks so you can get home and you can actually do some groceries." And later on she felt so guilty and she's like, "Jen, when do you want it back? Blah 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 blah." And I was like, "Girl, don't worry. If someone else asks you for this type of thing, pay it forward. That's what I want you to do." And it's just kind of creating a domino effect with other people so that the world has a little bit more light in it, so that we're just igniting each other's fires and we're just willing to help that. So that's really what I'm hoping for personally. But now I want to turn it around. What do you enjoy the most about helping people? I also want to know that from you.
Well, volunteering's been a big part of my life. I've been a volunteer for 31 years with Big Brothers Big Sisters. I don't know if you have that over in the Netherlands. It's where you are a positive role model for kids. So I did that for 16 years. And
Oh,
then I volunteer at local humane societies where I fundraise for, and I do public speaking for a place called the Business Education Partnership of Waterloo Region, where I go into schools and speak to the students about education in the classroom, outside of a classroom, and share my stories with them as well. So volunteering, giving back has been a huge part of my life for 31 years, and I found my new career from volunteering. So sometimes volunteering, it's good to give back to others, but sometimes you can also find a new career in volunteering, and also you can connect and network with people there too. So there's so many benefits to, and also I've learned my media skills from doing volunteer work as well.
oh, that's so cool. Yeah, and I've heard about Big Brothers and Big Sisters. How did you get there?
I was a little brother myself. My dad passed away when I was young,
Oh,
at the age of
sorry.
13. It's okay. I had to grow up early. I didn't have a normal childhood. Like, my childhood was changed because of that. So I had to grow up earlier than most kids. And a
Hmm.
couple years later, my mom got me into Big Brothers, and I ended up as a little brother for a couple years, and I had such a good experience. Later on, when I became 23, an adult, I became a big brother myself, and I did that for 16 years, being a positive role model for younger kids. And I also did fundraising for them as well, and it was a great experience. And I did it for 16 years, and then I've done Humane Society for a number of years, walking dogs and fundraising for them, and also I've done volunteer work as a camera operator and with a basketball team. So I've done a number of volunteer things, and what I'm doing now with speaking in high schools, I'm giving back to students, but I'm also gaining public speaking skills as well. So it's kind of
Yeah,
a win-win, and I love doing that. And I think it's important to give back.
definitely. It's always important to give back and at least pay it forward. If someone does something nice for you, pay it forward.
Yeah.
That's it.
Genevieve, do you find empathy has shrunk too these days?
I don't really know, actually. I don't really. I think I will roll back to my answer about social media. So we're very good at zooming in on stuff. We're very good at zooming in on negative things. But that doesn't mean that empathy per se has shrunk. We're just zooming in on clickbait and rage bait and all that stuff. I think that's the case. So get off the rage and clickbaity things, and the world is a beautiful place. And make sure that you're willing to ignite the next person's fire. And that's already how you make the world like 300% more beautiful, like twice as beautiful as you're seeing it right now. But it's so easy to get swept up by all the negative stuff that we're seeing. And that could, in the long run, indeed decrease our empathy towards each other. What about you? What do you think?
Listen, I think it has, and also listening skills too. That's the one thing I learned about this show. When I first started this show, Genevieve, back in March of 2020, I scripted everything. It was all scripted and everything. I had a couple of guests come on from the National Basketball Association. Chris, it's okay to write points and notes down, but don't script things. Natural conversations. It's all right to make points and notes down, but they gave me advice about having a natural conversation and basically transfer my security skills with the public into doing this show. So I've had some guests give me some feedback, and I've learned from them as well.
Yeah,
But
yeah, that's so
but
cool.
listening skills are just as important as talking. In some cases, even more, because sometimes you can ask a guest a question, and you're looking down at a paper, you miss what they're saying. And sometimes, I guess, you ask them a question, they could give you the answers to 5, 10 different questions. So a lot of the questions I prepare on here, just because I like to be prepared, I don't use
Hmm.
the majority of them because I've learned to listen to my guests. And a lot of the times, why ask a guest another question, this another question when they've already answered it?
Yeah. Yeah, gorgeous. I love that.
Hey, Geneva, as we wrap the show up in a couple minutes, can you just tell my audience again about your podcast, awesome guests, and where they can find and follow your podcast show with Jen?
Yeah, you can follow with Jen on basically most socials. I'm also on Substack and on Medium, and they're all at with Genevieve. So if you look for that, or at with Jen with a G, not a J. So there, or with Genevieve.com. I think those are the easiest ways to find me. Yeah. Yeah. I try to keep it as simple and as brief as possible because no one loves a story that's too long. Yeah, so just look up with Genevieve on Google and you'll find all the stuff, and then I'll be there waiting for you all. But also for my listeners, since I'm going to edit this as an audio only podcast, where can my listeners find you?
They can find me on beacons.ai/Christy Pame. That's my mini website, beacons.ai/Christy Pame. All my social media sites, all my media work, and my digital stories that I write are on there. And some of my interviews, long interviews, in-person interviews are on there. And also my YouTube channel, Chris Pame Live with CDP Talk Show. Please subscribe, like, and share. And I just hit over 701,000 views, and that's a lot of work. So I want
Yay!
to say thank you to everyone for following me on YouTube and Beacons. And I'm on all social media platforms, Facebook, Threads. I'm on Blue Sky Social, by the way. Blue Sky
Oh,
Social is like
same.
Blue Sky Social at Live with CDP19. If you'd like to follow me on Blue Sky, except Snapchat.
Yeah, no, I also a good that you're
And I'm on
saying it.
TikTok.
Yeah, no, good that you're saying it about Snapchat. I'm also not on Snapchat. And it just it doesn't appeal to me.
No, no, no. Blue Sky Social,
Yeah.
and I'm on TikTok at Chris Pame on TikTok if you want to follow me there as well. But yeah, you guys can just Google my name, Chris Pame, and I will pop up everywhere.
Awesome. Just Google us, guys, and just make sure that we're all supporting each other and that we ignite each other's little lights, right?
Genevieve, if we ever do a podcast show, I have a name for it. Keep it simple with Genevieve and Chris.
I love it. Or we could also use my other name. My third name in my passport is Christine. Keep it simple with Chris and Christine. Ah!
Christine, I did not know that. And my
Oh.
initials are CDP.
Oh, I love it. Ah, God.
Christopher,
Oh,
you
God.
know.
No, I loved this.
Hey,
This
as we
was
wrap up this show, Genevieve, it goes by quick.
yeah.
Now, you're businessing and connecting and networking with small entrepreneurs. Are your events both in person and virtually? And again, how can somebody contact about being a part of with Genevieve?
Yeah, you can just shoot me a DM on Instagram. Normally throughout my stories, I post about virtual and live events that we're doing. So if something is popping up in the stories and you're like, "Oh my God, I want to be there," shoot me a DM. Networking is for free, and I'm working with buy me a cup of coffee system. So if you're like, "Oh, this gave me something," then you can buy me a cup of coffee. So it's just very simple and very loving. I don't want to make it too difficult for people, and that's about it. It's super fun to make everyone connect and make sure that everyone has work to do because everyone is networking with one another. So in the end, they'll also earn money and make new friends. And uh, I don't know, it makes my heart full.
I'm not a coffee drinker myself, but what makes a good coffee?
What makes a good coffee? Oh my goodness. I mean, I love some caramel in there. And for the rest, it's just, it could be tea or whatever. It's just a good company. I think that makes a good beverage, a good company. It's like if you and I would be having a meal in the CN Tower, that would make a great meal. I don't care if it's fries or, a Michelin star, then it makes a great meal because you're in good company. And
I'm going to put you on the spot here as we wrap this up.
yeah.
What are 3 words to describe yourself and a fun fact about yourself?
Oh my God. Yeah, but after I want to hear it about you as well. Okay. I'm turning it around immediately. Okay. 3 words to describe yourself. I'm a very positive person. I'm very smiley. Yeah. I would say, okay, maybe then upbeat would be a good one. And I'm very curious. I will put my nose in your business. I'm very, very curious. So I just want to ask people all types of things. And that's why I also like turn all the questions around because I'm just curious about you as well, especially since this is also going to go on with Jen. People got to know. So upbeat, curious, and um, um, oh God, this is tough. Um, I, w- I look at my cats because today I'm working at home. Um, yeah, an animal friend. Most definitely, I love animals, so yeah, upbeat, curious animal friend. And a fun fact. Uh, alright. Oh yeah, no, I know. 2 years ago, I went to Kuala Lumpur and I had the best fried chicken over there in my whole life. And it's such a simple thing, but the best fried chicken ever that I had was in Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia. Okay, now you
You're
go.
tough to beat on that. Okay. I'm passionate. I'm passionate. I'm very motivated, and I'm also strong-willed. And a fun fact about me is I was 5'9", now I'm 5'6".
Yeah, we shrink as we age, man. That's yeah, it's sad. Yeah.
I've noticed that and I like I just love pasta. I look Italian, but I'm not Italian, but I love pizza. I love lasagna. I love homemade food. Homemade food is so much
Mm.
better than buying it out at fast food. And I'm also taking a cooking class once a month too.
Mm. I didn't know that. What kind of cooking class? Is it all round cooking or a certain cuisine?
Uh, learning once a month to cook healthier stuff, like
Oh,
make make salads and homemade soup or veggie Tex-Mex food. So just food that's healthier to eat. Because that's something I'm
that's
working
so
on. I want to
cool.
lose weight to feel better about myself. Being in media, I admit I do a lot of sitting and standing. So
Mm,
I'm trying to get back into walking and moving more. So that's something I want to work on too. Is you got to look after yourself. Because if you
mm.
don't look after yourself, then your body's going to break down and you won't be able to do the things you want. It's like a vehicle. If you don't look after your vehicle, it's going to break down and it's something I need to work on. Being honest on here.
Yeah, yeah, no, I feel you. I feel you. I gained 10 kilograms in the past 2 years, taking care of my grandpa because I wasn't taking great care of myself. So, yeah. Okay, if you have some
Self-care.
recipes, exactly. If you have some good recipes, forward them to me. I might need it.
Okay, deal. And as we
All
wrap the
right.
show up,
Yes.
what's next on your bucket list?
What's next on my bucket list? I mean, I think just actually talking to guests, but then live in their own countries. Doing live shows where we hire a little something something, or we rent out a little something, and yeah, and do it that way. I think that would be really cool with a little audience. That would be really fun.
I want to give a shout out to Tommy's Pizza here in Cambridge, Ontario. They are watching our show, and now I have a craving for pizza today too. And I like to
Oh,
support small businesses. By the way, there's so many corporate chains out there, but I always like to support small local businesses too.
Tommy's, don't do us like that. Now we want pizza. In Cambridge. I love you guys there. You guys are
And I'm working on
amazing.
getting them to hopefully one day advertise on this show.
Awesome.
Yeah, Cambridge is about 20 minutes from where I live. So
Yeah, I know.
it's not a little town anymore. It's growing. So, but
Yeah. I a friend of mine, she's from there, and she told me it's becoming big.
yes, everything's getting big. Everything's growing and then everything keeps going up,
Mhm.
except
Yep.
our wages.
Yeah.
Wages and waistlines.
I just wanted to say. Oh,
Do you have
yeah,
a
and is there
go ahead?
anything that I can notify my listeners about? Is there an event or something that you're gonna do real soon, that you wanna put in the spotlight for me for a little bit?
I'm going to be at an event tonight called The Ropes. I basically interviewed some of these people on this TV show about a local wrestling family. They filmed it in Waterloo a year ago. So
Mhm.
I got invited to their event tonight at Forefathers Brewery in Cambridge, which is like 15 minutes from me. I'm going to do an interview or two with the producer and some of the people that were involved in the ropes wrestling too. I know wrestling is all scripted, but a lot of my first media opportunities was with a local pro wrestling,
Mhm.
and it is hard work. You have to be an athlete, you have to be an actor, and you also have to be make sure you protect the other person too. So pro wrestling, I know, like I said, it's not scripted, but people do get hurt in it. It's not
Yeah.
easy, and I have so much respect for them. So I'll be doing that, and hopefully in May I'll be doing some more freelance media coverage for the CFL Toronto Argonauts. I'm usually in Toronto often in the summertime down at BMO Field, so maybe I will run into you in Toronto this summer or at some point.
Yeah, I would love that. I mean, and otherwise we'll just make it work. I'll shoot you a text. It's that simple.
And for those people that have never been to the Netherlands, what's one reason they should come and visit?
I mean, Amsterdam is super pretty. Amsterdam is just it's a city that I love. I think it's definitely the old buildings, we have a lot of history here. It's the old stuff. I love old stuff. I mean, I love old stuff. Things that are like a house here could be easily like 400 years old, which is amazing, you know? So just come see Amsterdam, come see The Hague, and come see all the old cities like Groningen or Leiden, or we have like all these old cities. I love old shit.
Favorite food and favorite dessert.
Oh God. And after that, I really have to go.
Yeah, yeah. So do I.
Exactly. Oh my goodness. Favorite food. I think my personal homemade carbonara. I make a very good carbonara.
On my way over now.
Okay, let's go. And I also make a killer
Definitely.
what's it called? A hot blondie. So ice cream with something warm, and so I could definitely cook for us someday. Let's
Ooh.
do it.
Okay. Deal. Sign me up. Sign me up. But hey, Genevieve, as we wrap this show up, where can our audience again follow you on social media, your website, the best way of contacting you, and your next podcast episode?
Okay, if you really want to contact me personally, head over to Instagram and type in @WithGenevieve, because I'm most responsive over there. I'm so bad at responding that @WithGenevieve on Instagram is your best shot, because there's so many media that we have to keep up with. You have the same issue. We both know it. So Instagram, I'm most responsive on there. It could take a couple of days though, because my inbox sometimes is crazy. But there you can also get all my updates and all the stuff that I want to share about this crazy thing called life that we are all living together.
Well, Genevieve, I want to say thank you for giving me over 90 minutes of your time today. I really appreciate it. Continued success with your podcast show as an entrepreneur, as a writer. And you have an open invite to come back on my show again in the future, or even maybe the Small Talk podcast with my co host Marlene and myself in the future as well.
That would be so cool. Yeah. And we'll definitely schedule another podcast recording for on mine soon. So let's do this.
Absolutely. Just give me a little bit of time this morning or this evening in your case, and I will send you the full video. Do you want me to send you the full audio via what we transferred to, both the video and the
Um,
audio?
yeah, for me, the audio is good because my podcast is without video, because I just editing video is so hard.
Okay.
All right.
I learned how to edit video 2 years ago during Christmas. I spent 8 hours learning how to do it on Christmas Day. So now I love doing edited video. I can use AI for it, but sometimes the AI doesn't do a great job. Sometimes it does, but I still like to do edit video myself. But sometimes when I'm busy, I just like, okay, let's use AI. But AI sometimes doesn't do as good a job as the human part.
I know, I know. I have the same issue with creating visuals as well. I make like these amazing like talking heads and stuff with like the right letter types and things like that. And sometimes the AI is very
Yeah.
awkward.
So hey, again, I want to say thank you so much, and I will definitely let you know if I ever do visit the Netherlands. That is on my bucket list, along with Italy and Australia. Those are the countries I'd like to visit.
You should come on over. We would love to have you here. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, thank you so much for coming on here, and give me a little bit of time, and we'll get all this sent to you this afternoon. And thank you so much for giving us over 90 minutes of your time. And now I've got my adrenaline rush for the rest of the day to get me through this. So thank you so much. It was a pleasure today having you on, Genevieve. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You were such a pleasure to hang out with.
Have a wonderful dinner. Have a wonderful evening, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yes, we will. Bye-bye.
So much. Bye. All right, everyone. That concludes season 13, episode 35, overall 695 of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, hosted by yours truly, Chris Pame, and brought to you by our folks at Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership at 905 Woodlawn Road West in the Guelph Auto Mall. And again, special thank you to my guest, Genevieve Pool, podcast host with Jen, and also an entrepreneur, a writer, and an author, and a content creator. She's based out of the Netherlands as well. And Genevieve on these social media platforms, including Threads. That's where I met her, through Threads with Genevieve. And also she is on Instagram with Genevieve on Instagram. And also her website is withgenevieve.com, and her podcast there as well. And she's also on flowlance.com, I believe, with Genevieve as well. So I have all her social media handles on the TikTok below as well. As we wrap up the show, guys, this is my 4th out of 5 shows this week. So I've got one more show coming, by the way. Next Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, again, brought to you by our friends at barrycollin.com. On Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern, with special guest Bellamy Bentley. She is a gospel and R&B singer out of Canada, specifically Toronto. So Bellamy Bentley will be on Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show tomorrow to talk about her latest single and being a gospel and R&B singer as well. And as we wrap up this show, guys, again, I want to say thank you to today's guest, Genevieve Pool, an entrepreneur, writer, and a talk show podcast host with Genevieve, or with Jen as well. And as we wrap up the show, guys, right now at Barry Collins Chevrolet dealership, there's a $1,500 truck trade-in bonus on any new 2026 Silverado 1500 crew cab. Requires a 2015 or newer pickup trade-in, separately assessed and accepted by the dealer. Conditions do apply. View offer details or drop by Barry Collins Chevrolet dealership, again at 905 Woodlawn Road West in the Guelph Auto Mall, or check out their website, barrycollin.com. So if you're looking for a new truck, Barry Collins Chevrolet dealership's $1,500 truck trade-in bonus. Again, more details at barrycollin.com. As we wrap up the show, guys, if you'd like a personalized video message, yours truly is on cameo.com/Chris Palme. Go to cameo.com, type in Chris Palme. I do happy birthday, happy Hanukkah, congratulations, happy anniversary, whatever within reason. And I look forward to doing your cameo. You can also follow me on Blue Sky Social at Live with CDP19 on Blue Sky Social. If you're looking to adopt a pet, check out the Cambridge District Humane Society, located at 1650 Dunbar Road in Cambridge, Ontario. Telephone number 519-677 extension 0, or visit their website, cambridgehumanesociety.org. All the pets and animals that are up for adoption, their profiles are on cambridgehumanesociety.org. And if you're looking to volunteer like I do twice a week, go to cambridgehumanesociety.org, click on the volunteer application form as well. Michelle and the staff do a wonderful job in looking after our homeless furry friends and ensuring they get adopted into good homes with good families. Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, again, is live streamed on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, X, Twitch, LinkedIn, and now available on Instagram. And I want to say thank you to everyone for watching this today on live stream. And you can also check out my website, beacons.ai/Chris D. Palme. You can also follow me on TikTok at Chris Palme on TikTok. Follow, like, share on page. StreamYard is the official live stream provider of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show. If you're into webinars, live streaming, or podcasting like myself, go to StreamYard.com. If you're a business that does a lot of webinars, go to StreamYard.com and contact your sales department for pricing as well. And StreamYard has been a part of my live streaming podcast for the last 5 years. So big thumbs up to StreamYard.com for your live streaming needs. And finally, guys, Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show. The audio version is on these platforms: iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Spotify for podcasters, Apple Podcasts, Breaker, Pocket Cast, Spotify, Castbox, LinkedIn, Pandora, Tuned In, YouTube Music, Good Pods. Please remember to subscribe, like, and share. And finally, guys, you can email me at Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show at cpalme19@gmail.com. And finally, guys, you can follow me on Facebook, Threads, Instagram, LinkedIn, Blue Sky Social, everywhere except Snapchat, and also my YouTube channel, Chris Palme, Live with CDP Talk Show. Please subscribe, like, and share. And I want to say thank you to everyone for subscribing and watching my YouTube channel. I am approaching 1,000 subscribers, and I just reached over 701,000 viewers. So thank you for watching my YouTube content, and make sure you check out my YouTube shorts as well. And also thank you to my audio platforms. I have 80 countries around the world listening to this show, and I just reached almost 12,000 listens and downloads on Spotify as well. So thank you to you, the audience, for watching and listening to Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show. And again, I want to say thank you again to my special guest today, Genevieve Pool, for coming on here today. And also to our friends at Barry Cullen Chevrolet dealership here in Guelph. And I am looking forward to my 5th and final show this week. Tomorrow, Saturday, April 18th, 7 p.m. Eastern, again with special guest Bellamy Bentley, a gospel and R&B singer out of Toronto, Canada. I hope everybody has a great day, and we'll see you back here tomorrow night for another edition of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, brought to you by our friends at Barry Cullen Chevrolet dealership at 5 Woodlawn Road West in the Guelph, Guatemala. Have a great day, everybody, and thanks again for watching and listening. We'll see you tomorrow.